Hi guys, Hito here, and today, first I want to do like a tad explaining, new YouTube channel. Basically, this is what if Goku was in Naruto. This will be a written fanfiction. It's like a fanfiction crossed with a what if. The difference is that a what if is more grounded in a way, and it's more in a video format. So this is like a cross between the two because I wouldn't call this unrealistic. But I'm just going to get all that out the way. Anyways, let's begin. Part 1. Prologue. Goodbye, sun. The blazing fire illuminated the thick mist. Blood stained the ground along with thousands of kunai. Explosions still took place. The determined ones were still fighting against what seemed to be fate. The sun's glaring beams of light were clouded by the smoke of black clouds. A woman with short black hair, green stretchable armor, and a brown monkey tail ran with a wailing baby. "It's gonna be fine, Kakarot. Mommy will protect you." Despite her kind words, the baby with spiky black hair wailed even more. The woman then stopped and put the baby down, proceeding to bite her thumb, drawing blood. Summoning Jutsu! A monkey with samurai armor appeared. It was about 3 foot tall. "Please, this is my final request. Please take Kakarot to Konoha." Tears were swelling at the monkey's eyes as he observed the battlefield. He picked up the baby and ran with it. A shinobi with the headband of the Mist Village ran at her. She waved hand signs as a mud wall protected her from a barrage of shuriken. She smiled. It was the first time she had done that jutsu. Suddenly her vision went black as a shuriken was shoved into her skull, killing her on the spot. The monkey ran and ran and ran. At extreme agility, it was able to dodge many powerful jutsu and even navigate its way through the thick mists. He was able to eventually cross the border to the Fire Country. The journey to Konoha was a week long, and the monkey had to take care of the baby. He was able to do so. He then reached the gates of Konoha. The monkey ran to 2 people wearing leaf headbands. The 2 shinobi then rapidly pulled out kunai as the monkey triggered the ninja's sensors. "I'm not here to fight. I just need to talk to Hiruzen," Sarutobi. The shinobi's eyes narrowed and then whispered to each other. One disappeared in a veil of leaves. Hiruzen was at home relaxing. Finally, he gave the torture of that dreaded paperwork to the new up-and-comer, Minato Namikaze, and was determined to spend the rest of his days in peace. But he was never that lucky. "Lord Hiruzen, please pardon my intrusion, but a monkey summon requested to talk to you whilst carrying a baby," one of the shinobi from the gate said whilst emerging from the shadows. "Where is he?" Hiruzen tilted his head and rested his hand on his chin. "The east gate, sir." The moment the last syllable was spoken, Hiruzen was gone along with the other ninja. They then reappeared in front of the monkey. "Sorry to keep you waiting, but what business do you have with me in Konoha?" "The Saiyan clan was slaughtered, and this one, I believe he is the final survivor." The monkey looked down through the entire process of telling the news. Hiruzen paled, and even the ninja began to whisper behind him. What of the sage monkey summons?" Hiruzen's voice almost trembled, and almost did, but due to his shinobi training, he reflexively didn't allow himself to show emotions. "I'm not sure, but I believe more than 50% of our numbers were slaughtered. Head back to Saru Forest, then report back to me about the situation. The monkey then handed over the baby and disappeared in a puff of smoke. Hiruzen then took Kakarot back into the village. Okay, that was chapter 1. From chapter 2, he'll be referred to as Goku. Just thought I'd say that. Anyways, give me a second. Let's begin chapter 2. Chapter 2. Everyone loves ramen. Stop eating all our food, dum-dum. A small kid who was no more than 4 years old shouted at a kid with spiky black hair and pitch black eyes, along with a ragged orange gi. This kid was shoving handfuls of food into his mouth. All the other kids at the table glaring at him as their stomachs growled. This was a common event, and the kids tended to take their portion and leave instead of taking a bit at a time. But this time, the adult caretakers forced them to. The small kid from before found he was hungry. He deserved the food. He then punched the kid in the face. Shockingly, the kid with black hair didn't flinch and just turned his head, almost like a zombie. Oh, so you want to fight? You should have just asked. The kid then smiled. Finally, he dared to fight someone. That adrenaline, he couldn't get enough of it. Goku, don't. One of the caretakers reached to grab Goku, but was too late. Goku slammed his fist into the kid's face. It sent him into the wall behind them with a huge thud. The kid was bleeding from the head. Goku jumped up. Let's go! Despite the challenge, the kid began to cry and ran away as fast as possible. Goku just tilted his head to the side. Where did he go? Goku, you just hurt someone else again. You're out of here. Pack your bags. The caretaker screamed as 3 of the other caretakers ran to find the other kid. But he was cut off. I do not care. Out. Okay. Goku just shrugged. They were so mean. He wanted to fight, didn't he? This kept happening. He was eating, then someone would want to fight him. Then he would punch them, and they would just run away. He casually walked to his room. He was about to be kicked from the orphanage he grew up in. Then he suddenly started to jump up and down. Finally, he could meet someone when push came to shove would want to fight, and he could finally get stronger. When the caretakers saw him doing extensive training, they would just tell him to stop. Goku in a few minutes was packed, and without saying goodbye, he ran into the pouring rain. A little rain wasn't going to let his mood go down. He started to sprint, trying to find a place to eat. He tended to get the bare minimum, at least to him, in brackets, required to survive. He ran through the streets of Konoha. He saw a weapon shop. Whilst not his original goal, it was a weapon shop. What wasn't it cool about where they give you things that can increase how strong you are in combat? The jingle of a bell made the shopkeeper acknowledge Goku. Hello, welcome to... The man with brown hair and a leaf headband paused. The man started to glare at him. Get out, you filthy monkey. Goku simply tilted his head. He didn't understand what half of the words meant. What are you talking about? Goku said, still a smile on his face. The man suddenly chucked a kunai which rushed at Goku. It was simply meant to graze his cheek, but Goku caught it. What was that for? Goku loved fighting, but hated sucker punches. He then threw it back at the man. If the shinobi wasn't a weapon specialist and knew everything about kunai, he would have been dead. Granted, he was just a low gaining level, but still. The kunai went straight through the wall and into another shop. Please, just leave. I'm begging. The man at this point was shaking in intense fear. "You're mean," Goku said simply, and walked out. He kept walking, and anywhere he tried to get into would always turn out the same. Goku was frowning, and the rain had made his hair too heavy to be spiked up, and it flopped down. He eventually saw a kid with blonde hair and a white top with a spiral symbol on it walking to a stand. Maybe he could get in. He strolled in and sat on one of the tables. "I'll take miso ramen," the blonde kid said with gusto and a smile. Goku looked at him and squinted his eyes. What even was miso ramen? The kid looked at him. "What are you looking at?" Naruto almost growled. "What's miso ramen?" Goku said in response. The food he got at the orphanage was commonly just rice and potatoes. What was this new weird food? "Only the best food in existence," Naruto replied. Goku's eyes widened, a smile grazed his face. "I'll take miso ramen then," Goku shouted, almost jumping out of his chair. This would be great. The two kids sat there in an amazed and excited silence. Eventually, the man came out with the ramen and gave it to the two. Like wild beasts, they tore into the food. They could taste every sensation and taste. "This is good," Goku said between mouthfuls. The chief smiled whilst watching the kids devouring the ramen. 20 bowls later, the kids were full, but you wouldn't be able to tell that from their appearance. "Anyway, spiky hair, what's your name?" the blonde kid said whilst leaning back. "Son Goku," he replied. "Remember my name well because it's going to be the name of the next Hokage, Naruto Uzumaki. Believe it." The now named Naruto replied. And that's the end of chapter 2. I do really hope you enjoyed. This is my own kind of original fanfic, because like I did create the fanfic, but of course other people have already done the idea, and of course the story of Naruto itself isn't my original idea, so I guess like half and half original. But anyways, I do hope you enjoyed it. A couple of things I want to say is that these few chapters at the start, just kind of setting up the emotional web. Because I'm struggling to put Goku into the themes of Naruto and makes an interesting story. So really what I'm trying to do is establish the web of interconnected emotional web between each of the characters and then put them into the story. Like the main story of Naruto. Don't worry, it's not going to take forever. Like this will only be like a few chapters at best, and my chapters usually are around like 900 words. It's not that much, so don't worry. Only a few chapters, and then we'll be straight into the story. But yeah, also, as you probably observed, Goku does get discriminated against, and you will learn exactly why later on. But anyways, with that, bye.